Okay, this is as announced in the previous vlog where I had to get interrupted because of a phone call. Aviation accidents and incidents, as you can read here. This is on Wikipedia. Wikipedia does give a lot of factual details, but the format is not standardized. For example, they would give you a list of what the title says here, the heading, other crashes with high death tolls. And in several of the paragraphs, they don't even tell you what kind of a aircraft was involved. Yet, in other ones, they do. For example, this one is revealed that it was an Airbus A330-203. And here, good night, Lilato. Here you will have an Airbus A320, and yet the first two do not list any aircraft information. One thing I want to point out, though, on a different subject matter, is that you will notice on the paragraph here, October 4th, 2001, a Ukrainian incident. A Ukrainian military shot down a Siberian Airlines flight. The aircraft was a Tupolev Tu-154. Killed everyone on board, 12 crew, 66 passengers, making a total of 78. It tells you that the Ukraine paid $15 million in compensation. I'm pointing this out because it's interesting that this year, very recently, another airline and another airplane was involved with Ukraine. It crashed into Ukraine during the conflict that's going on there between Russian and Ukrainian forces. So there was a lot of accusations and tit for tat, if you want to call it that, colloquially. My impression is that it was a Ukraine-backed incident from the Ukraine forces, which are their strongholds in the capital of Kiev, and that's on the western side of Ukraine. And their sphere of influence is Europe, the EU. I could be wrong, though, and argue with me if you want, if you're a conspiracy expert, or if you're just a downright expert in whatever the mainstream wants to shove down your little throat. You can debate on this, but my opinion at this time is that I'm connecting some dots here. The Ukraine did this on July 17th, 2014, and I'm showing you that the Ukraine also did this October 4th, 2001, which is a little bit less than 13 years apart from these incidents. So I don't know if anyone's ever brought this out before, but I'm doing it right now. So now to change the subject, let's just go to more general information on aircraft disasters. The worst ones were in Tenerife. I don't know if I pronounced that properly, forgive me. This is a Spanish territory, and the Canary Islands. In that town on March 27th, 1977 was the worst disaster, highest number of airline passenger fatalities, 583. It involved a KLM airline flying a Boeing 747. It was a collision with a Pan Am 747. Remember Pan Am back in the days? So that was in the 70s. Their heyday was in that time of the 20th century, and Pan Am building, if New Yorkers and Americans remember, used to be right next to Grand Central in the middle of Manhattan, exactly on 42nd Street, between, I guess that's Fifth Avenue now. Yeah, kind of like between Fifth Avenue and Lexington Avenue in New York City. Today it's different. It was MetLife. I think it's something else now, but that was Pan Am. Pan Am was great and very lucrative at that time, very famous. Unfortunately, this disaster tarnished their reputation. Now, look at the second one, JAL, which is Japanese Airlines. Flight 123, number 123, happened on August 12th, 1985. This also is a single aircraft disaster of the worst, number one worst kind. Highest number of fatalities, 520. This is a single aircraft. So the previous one that I mentioned in the Spanish Canary Islands involved 2 airplanes. So this one later on, August 12, 1985, is with 1 airplane. Now, as I said, with this heading here, they just give you a general listing, and they don't give you a lot of charts, but what's available here is paragraph by paragraph, and you can look at it. So it's not standardized. And next section, they talk about safety as a subject matter and a concern. So what I want to say right here, aside from what is on the Wikipedia, just my own statement, is that I look at the technology and the business sector, the industry sector of human civilization, and the reason why I started this research is because I had a lot of awareness and respect for the airline industry. Not because I think we're going to remain at this level of doing things. I believe in much higher efficient technologies that are much more beyond the petroleum industry, turbo and internal combustion type of engine machines. But for the going rate, circa 2014, in this day, I still have this awareness and respect for the industry because they have to be professional. They are, to that extent, they're able to provide, this business, this service, so that people can travel. We're a global culture, if not a global civilization. I've used it, and in that sense, at those times, those events in my life where I travel, I depend on this industry. So the last time that I dealt with a airplane crew, I thanked them. I said, convey my message to the pilot, the co-pilots, the crew, and it's like it's in my prayers, it's in my blessings, and that's just logical. It's not something that is metaphysical or it requires some deep philosophy. It's just logic. It's like, I need safety. I need them to do what they need to do. That's their job. That's why they get paid. That's why they have a career. That's why they have something to do that they're proud of, and they can go to sleep at night and wake up the next day and say, their life goes on with a purpose. So many of us have this career, this life mission. Mine, however, is different. I talk about things. I put things into a higher perspective. I explain it, and then I give you an overview of like this sense that I have of things, giving thanks and looking at it and saying, where is it going? So look, they talked about safety here. You may have been reading while I was talking. They have different systems here. Aviation System Reporting, Safety Reporting System, ASRS acronym. And so there's all kinds of commissions and agencies and things that do studies. I wanted to show you a general chart that Wikipedia put together, and it gives you the previous 14 years, not including this year, of course, because this year is not completed. Uh-oh. I hope this is gonna last. YouTube, take the video. Do this.